Come on. Do I sound like I'm joking? Do I sound like I'm playing? When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying? Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
Okay. Yeah. I'm dead serious. This is exactly how I'm starting.
All right. All right. Once again, we are on. I am the Mojo King. That big face is Mike Steph, I think. Might be Tyler McDowell. And we are Hidden Gems Football, brought to you by the Mighty 19 Media Group. Mike Steph, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Hyped and ready for this Super Bowl, this upcoming Super Bowl. Don't let the calm voice fool you. I'm so excited for a Super Bowl redo of a couple years ago. Maybe we'll have the same result, maybe we won't, but I guess that's why we're doing Hidden Gems Football this week, to try to figure out which way we're going to turn. So that's my long-winded way of saying thumbs up.
Good deal. I am doing good. At least the edits, it will look like I'm doing good because I'm editing out all my coughs. All right. We are talking about the Super Bowl. I think I mentioned that. We're talking about bets, props, and other thoughts. I think the best way to do it is to attack it team by team. So, Mike Steph, first off, we are going to talk about the San Francisco 49ers. As far as injuries in San Francisco, this extra week is really helpful for both teams. George Kittle and Eric Armstead are the two injuries as far as the starting unit on San Francisco's offensive defense. Both of them are likely to play. Mike Steph, what are your thoughts about San Francisco?
All my wrestling fans will probably figure out where this is derived from. Do you know what the champion of the NFC is called? I'll give you one guess. Oh, okay. You're slow. The best number 2 in the league. It's effectively the loser bracket. The bracket in which the 49ers barely got through to get a berth in this Super Bowl. The big game. The 49ers, to me, have not been the same team since that bludgeoning on Monday night by the Baltimore Ravens. But the 49ers have not been that same team since that bludgeoning on Monday, a month or so ago. And they're very fortunate to be here. San Francisco, in their 2 games as the number 1 seed, their first game against Green Bay at home, they won 24-21. Now, in the NFC Championship game against the Detroit Lions, in which they were down 17 points, they came back for a 34-31 victory. So that averages out to 29 points for San Francisco and 26 points for their opponents. Do I really believe that this game should be as close? We'll get to that later. But San Francisco has all the weapons at their disposal that should give them the advantage. That's probably why they're favored. We have George Kittle at tight end. You have Deebo Samuel. You have Brandon Ayuk. You have CMC, Christian McCaffrey. And then you got the straw that stirs the drink in Brock Purdy. But you know what? I think when it comes to San Francisco, with all those weapons, with the gunslinger behind center, it comes down to one man. And it comes down to a man who stands on that sideline, Kyle Shanahan. Do you know that February 6th, to be exact, made 7 years from the day in which Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator of this low-down, dirty team in Atlanta called the Atlanta Falcons that coughed up a 28-3 lead. Yeah, I'm opening some scabs, some rooms for a certain individual down there who will remain nameless. I don't believe that he should garner the amount of blame that he has over the last 7 years, but being the fact that this is a redo of a Super Bowl a couple years ago, do you know Kyle Shanahan against this same Kansas City Chiefs team, even though a lot of the rosters changed, or maybe it hasn't, coughed up a 10-point lead midway through the 4th quarter? Do you think those demons are going to resurface this year? Do you think that he's going to learn his lesson on his prior mistakes with maybe a superior cast at his disposal? I don't know. And what will it say of Kyle Shanahan if they come up short yet again? will this boy genius that's starting to turn gray now still retain that title, or will some of the shine start to dull off his perceived greatness? Those are questions that need to be answered. Those are questions that should be answered this week on Super Bowl 58. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say about San Francisco, because they're dry. They're dry as toast. Like, I tried to spiff it up as much as I could. You know, you heard the inflection in my voice. Just, I can't. Shoot. You know what? San Francisco is the embodiment of Mr. Rogers.
Well, yeah.
I'll pass over to you.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers is before my time, but I heard he was a great man.
No, he was.
So comparing him to greatness. Kyle Shanahan is 8-3 in the playoffs. Of course, 0-1 in the Super Bowl. Lost to Kansas City.
Yeah, because he's always gotten to the championship game. He just didn't punch it in a couple times. So yeah,
two conference championships and then the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, yeah.
This team, as you mentioned, has a bevy of talented offensive players at their disposal. Brock Purdy has been playing at MVP type level pretty much all season. And this team was clearly the best team in the NFC during all the regular season, and was the one team that when you put it up against the top AFC teams, which Kansas City wasn't one of them going into the playoffs, you thought the 49ers actually had a shot against the best of the best in the AFC. So there's a lot to like about the 49ers. I might get into some of the negatives later, but go San Francisco. All right, now let's flip over to the other side. What's your take on the Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're the defending champions. You know, returning to go for the first repeat in the Super Bowl in the last 20 years. I know that years have gone by, but the Chiefs has already beaten the 49ers in this spot before. To me, it's deja vu to a certain extent. You know, the Chiefs ran through the number 2 seed and the number 1 seed, put all questions to rest on whether or not they could be the same team on the road that they've been at home in the postseason over this 6-year dynastic run. The Chiefs have a quarterback. They have the rings. They have coaching advantages. And I really don't see why the Chiefs should be the underdogs. But to me, that's giving them just a little bit more of a chip on their shoulder. A lot of times I've been on the Chiefs bandwagon. This is the first year, especially in the postseason, that I'm actively, besides the mismatch in the AFC wild card game against those fortunate Dolphins. This is the first year that I've looked at these games like, how did the Chiefs win that game? I know the Chiefs are not going to win this game. I thought they were going to lose against Buffalo. I thought, if anything, if this was going to be the year that Buffalo's going to get over the hump, I thought this was going to be the year. Didn't happen. I rooted against them for Baltimore because I'm like, look, if this is the year Lamar's going to get to the Super Bowl, everything's lined up for him. They got him at home. They got him at the crib. Chiefs proved me wrong. But more importantly, you know who proved me wrong? Patrick Mahomes. You know what? It's gotten to the point of bet against Mahomes at your own risk. Because he did something in this run. He put his ego to the side in this run. It's very easy to go out there and try to sling it for 300, 350 yards a game and have all the glory at your feet. In that game against Baltimore, they didn't score not one single point, and he was content with dumping it off. He was content with handing it off. He played a masterful game. He looked at it like, look, our defense is playing phenomenal. And as long as I don't do anything silly, as long as I don't try to put my mark on this game where it doesn't even need it, we're going to get to the Super Bowl. This Patrick Mahomes here is, dare I say, he's been on the top echelon, but he's almost in Zen mode. Like, he's untouchable. And for the first time ever, the Chiefs have a dominating defense, which is the dominant side of the team when it comes to the Chiefs. Everybody used to talk about the offense. No, the Chiefs got to this point, yes, by Patrick Mahomes, but their defense is the truth. Their defense, I'll tell you the truth, I think their defense is better than San Francisco's, even though San Francisco got all the names. I believe this is a chance for the Chiefs to attain immortality. 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. That, to me, my friends, is a dynasty. 4 Super Bowl appearances in 5 years. That, my friends, is dynastic. If they get that 3rd ring, there's a lot of talk of whether or not Patrick Mahomes is going to catch Brady. Patrick Mahomes is not even 30 yet. He gets 3 rings before the age of 30. And he's already shown that he can take a ragtag bunch of receivers that have stone hands and get them back to the big game. And all he really needs is just one dependable person, whether it's by ground or by air. I don't know. The only thing I think that will stop Patrick from getting at least 5 rings is how long Andy Reid is going to stay around. And even then, we might be giving too much credit to Andy Reid and not enough credit to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes has done it all this season. But you mentioned Coach Reid. He is 25-16 in the playoffs and 2-2 in the Super Bowl. About that 25-16, he's 14-3 with Mahomes. This team coming into the playoffs, it just seemed like they were sure to be out. Some people thought the Dolphins might take them. Most people seem to think that Bills might take them. And pretty much everybody, except for Kansas City fans, was pretty sure that Baltimore was going to take them out. And they went through every storm. As you mentioned, it's because of their QB. Rashee Rice is their top wide receiver, who looks pretty good as a rookie. I don't know if he's a true superstar. And then, of course, you got Travis Kelce, who started out the season slow, but has been gangbusters since the playoffs. This team is the battle-tested team that just seems to keep figuring out ways to win. Now it's going to come down to the picks. San Francisco is 2-point favorites. The total is projected to be 47.5 points. That means that Vegas is telling us that San Francisco will win 24 3/4 to Kansas City's 22 3/4. If you were to bet the Chiefs to win straight up, they are plus 102, which means that you get $2 out of $2 extra dollars out of every $100 you bet. So bet 100, you get back 202. Like Steph, who you got and who you like over under?
I'm not going to divulge the amount, but I've lost some bread based on picking against Kansas City in this postseason. Well, this is the last football game of the season, i.e., this would probably be my last bet until preseason. And I'm trying to go out for the win. So I will say I'm picking Kansas City for the money line. I'm picking Kansas City to cover the 2 points. So that's Kansas City plus 2. And now for the over-under, I'm going to go over based on the conversation we had off mic, but mostly due to I don't really need that mental stress of every time they're about to get to the field. I mean, get into the red zone. I'm like, kick the field goal, Don't go for it. Kick the field goal. Because 47.5, like you said, it's what, 24 1/4 and 22 1/4, something like that. 24.5, 22.5. I could see that being in that range. I could see it maybe being 27-24. Like I said before, San Francisco has won by the average of 29-26. Kansas City, on the other hand, has won by the average of 23.3 points to 16. So they've won by an average of 7.3 points a game. Split the difference. Kansas City's winning by more. So why would I not pick Kansas City? So once again, my picks were going to be Kansas City money line, Kansas City plus 2, and the over-under, I'm going over because why not? It's a Super Bowl, and they're going to be in Vegas. Somebody's going to be hungover One of those cornerbacks going to be hung over. And MVS just might be able to catch a touchdown. And I think, you know what, I'll say that for prop bets. But yeah, those are my picks.
All right. Well, as far as the pick, I think we're going to fall in line. San Francisco, to me, is the much more talented team, but they haven't looked like it to end the season or going into through this playoffs. Granted, they've won. They've beaten Green Bay. Then they beat Detroit. But neither of those games, they looked like the team that we remembered when they were juggernauts earlier in the season. Meanwhile, Kansas City, I want to say, has found a way to win, but they've looked like the better team each the step they've gone in the playoffs, which is really pretty special when you consider the teams they beat were considered, well, the Dolphins to some degree, but the Bills and Baltimore were considered top of the top. And because of Mahomes and because of that defense and because of Pacheco being able to now control a run game a little bit, they've looked like the better team each step of the way. Both of these defenses are supposed to be really good. San Francisco looks like their defense is taking a little step back. Kansas City still holding everything down. So I like Kansas City. I was kind of surprised that they were underdogs, to tell you the truth, because of how these playoffs have played out, even though I just said that I think San Francisco is the more talented team overall. When it comes to the over-under, it's really interesting that you pointed out the conversation we had off screen, which I guess we'll get into in the prop bets. Mm-hmm. I am leaning under. I don't really like the bet, but I think I'm leaning under because in my mind, the script that I see going is that Kansas City still is not scoring a lot of points, so they have to hold San Francisco down and then either have a slight lead that they hold on to or score late, which we'll get into the prop bets, and pull it out late.
Yo, what's up? I'm Desmond, and I'm the host of Hip to the Games, a podcast from 19 Media Group, where the brilliance of basketball and hip-hop's past and present is genuinely appreciated. Join me every other Friday as we celebrate some of the greatest artists, albums, moments, songs, bars, punchlines, NBA teams, players, just anything and everything to do with the game of rap and the game of basketball. See, if you like basketball and hip-hop, that means you're hip to the games. But no matter where you fall on that spectrum, I encourage you to join the fun every other Friday on your favorite podcast platform, courtesy of the great 19 Media Group.
All right, Mike, Steph, let's move over to the prop bets. What you got?
I have 4 possibilities out of the long list of anytime touchdowns that I think you might be able to cash in. You have Christian McCaffrey, which is like the favorite because he always scores. But do you really get that much value? Is minus 210. Then you got Isaiah Pacheco at minus 120. You got Kelsey. You don't think he's trying to score for Bay? Kelsey at minus 110. And then you got Debo Samuel at plus 135. So if you just want to gimme, let's say you're doing a parlay and you just want to gimme just to make sure you check that box, I would go McCaffrey. Minus 210 is not going to boost your parlay up so much, but that's at least an extra leg that you can put on. Now for value, I would either go between Kelsey and Debo. Debo's plus 135, but Debo might get canceled out by a McCaffrey touchdown. Because if they're close, if they're inside the 10, it's probably going to go to McCaffrey. Debo usually scores from further out. So I guess the second one would be with Kelsey with minus 110. Because like I said, you don't think the NFL, you don't think the script is going to want the story of Kelsey scoring for the touchdown, and then they can zoom up in the suite and Swift is doing all this other crap. I don't know. I just think that's a gimme also. Now for the passing attempts is my old favorite. Passing attempts by Purdy. Over or under 31.5 passing attempts. And that's plus 105 for it to go over. Being the fact the last 2 weeks, he's actually gone over 30.5 passing attempts. It makes me want to believe that Kyle Shanahan is trying to prove a point himself and say, "Oh, you think my man is a game manager?" So probably against my better judgment. Now, if I put this in a parlay, I probably will go under. But by itself, let's say you which got Daddy Warbucks, and you're gonna put $100 down on Purdy. Double my money for Purdy going over 31.5. I have more faith in that than adding that to a parlay. So actually, I would go over 31.5. Because I think in Vegas, bright lights, big city, he's going to want to show out. He's going to want to try to get that MVP for him damn self. So, yeah. So I'll go over with the 31.5. And those are really the only prop bets that I really feel like putting some coin on.
All right. The Purdy thing is really interesting to me because part of the reason that I was set on the unders going into the playoffs as far as Purdy was because, as I had said at the time, he was 1-4 when he had thrown over 30 passes. Now he's won 2 in a row. But the other thing is that I thought San Francisco would be dominant over both the teams in the playoffs, and they weren't. Specifically with Detroit, they had to come all the way back. They needed him to throw the ball around. If I was going to do it this time, I think I would go over with you because I think they'll be down, so there's a better chance he'll throw the ball. But I'm not messing with that. What I am messing as far as Brock Purdy, you notice you're getting closer, don't you?
I am? I didn't know that. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. But the thing I like about Brock Purdy isn't nothing about his arm at all. It's rushing. Brock Purdy over 12.5 yards rushing. Along those same game ideas, with them possibly being down, possibly needing to throw more, which means that he's back there more. He's going to get rushed. I think Purdy is not going to pull a Lamar and stay in the pocket. I think he's going to go travel, get some yards. So I like the over 12.5. At in the Caesars app, it's -120. That's the best odds I found. Better than DraftKings, better than FanDuel, even though I don't like talking about FanDuel anyway. Over on the other side, this one I have been talking about for weeks now, and I'm still with it. Kadarius Toney is scoring a touchdown. The game script written by conspiracy theorists. Kadarius Toney scores the last touchdown, late score, throw up for grabs. Kadarius Toney scores the touchdown. Everybody runs around like maniacs. Game's over. But I was going to bet that on DraftKings because DraftKings was the one site that I sort of had it. They had it at 11-1 odds. They seem to think it's going to happen too. They believe in the script just like I do. Why would I bet that? I'm asking for a miracle, and they're like, yeah, okay, 11-1 odds. Are you serious?
It would, tell you the truth, in all honesty, I think it would be shocking to me if he gets more than 5 snaps in this game. Because I personally believe after even though we didn't really discuss it, after whatever's going on between him spouting whatever he's been spouting on social media about them lying about his injury status and everything, and Andy Reid pretty much kind of quelching that and not making it a topic, I would be shocked if they allow him to have any type of impact in this game based on his actions, based on his behavior in the last couple of weeks. But at the same time, maybe one of those 5 snaps would be the snap that he gets into the end zone.
And that's exactly where I'm going. Because I would not disagree with you. I think he's going to get 2, maybe, balls thrown his way. I just happen to think one of them is going to be a touchdown towards the end of the game. But since they won't give me anything at the end of the game, then I was like, all right, I'll make it a little bit easier on myself. I'll just look for Kadarius Toney touchdown. DraftKings, we'll give you 5.5-1. Are you serious? So I had to go search for it elsewhere. And I found on my hated app, FanDuel, they have it at 9.5-1. Kadarius Toney scores a touchdown anytime in the game. That's much better than what DraftKings offer me. So I went over there and I put a little bit of money down on Toney in FanDuel scoring a touchdown. Mike Steph,
I wouldn't.
Oh,
Do it.
I'm crazy. I will say this, that I actually don't like this game as far as betting. I think other than betting on Kansas City, and even that one I'm a little bit hesitant with. I didn't like the prop bets. I really didn't. I'm gonna go bet a favorite or two on the WN Phoenix Open, Hidden Gems Golf. Check that out. And I'm gonna have my money. If I win some money there, maybe I'll put a little bit more money in the Super Bowl after. But Mike Steph, I believe you have one more prop bet kind of thing that we should be talking about.
Yeah, I was looking on Draftkings yesterday in preparation for today's recording, and I came across one of the prop bets under Super Bowl specials, and they had one subcategory entitled "For the Swifties," which kind of just made me nauseated at the thought of everybody's trying to profit off it. But who knows? Some of these categories, pretty much these categories are named, I believe, either after songs of hers or albums. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan per se, so there's very few songs that I know of. So I'll go down the line and maybe it might float your boat. Some of these odds plus 3,000, who knows, right? So one of the first one I'll talk about would be "Look at What You Made Me Do." That's the name of the prop bet. The Kansas City Chiefs to trail in the fourth quarter and win the game, i.e., a comeback victory in the fourth quarter. If you agree, plus 500. Okay, not bad. Then you got "Love Story." The Kansas City Chiefs to win, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce to combine for all of the Kansas City Chiefs touchdowns. That's plus 2,000. 22. Any quarter to have more than 22 points scored, plus 400. Deja vu. The Kansas City Chiefs to win by exactly 11 points, plus 3,000. Fearless. Brock Purdy to pass for over 300 yards, 3 plus touchdowns, and for Kansas City to win. And of course, that's plus 1,000.
Wait, hold on. How many of these did they go through Taylor's whole catalog?
Oh, I got about three, 2 more pages left.
Two? You said 2 more pages?
Yeah, it's like 3 a page. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. What's the next one? You need to calm down. Brock Purdy, 200. Now I understand why this is entitled. You need to calm down. For Brock Purdy to throw for 200 yards in the first half, plus 800. That's with that defense. I doubt that. So probably need to calm down, but that's a possibility. If I can get serious for a minute, I'm not sure if y'all noticed in the background. Y'all probably didn't, but I'm going to bring this to the forefront. This week makes 3 years of my oldest son passing. My oldest son Nikai. For new watchers, listeners, this bracelet that I have on, this necklace I have on, this basketball, is a piece of him, and this is a portrait that was made by a close friend of mine, brother of mine, Marcus. It's a picture of me with actually hair, my wife, and our son. I just wanted to give it a little more focus. So this is always a hard time of year for me. But I've learned, unfortunately, or fortunate, depending on the way you want to look at it, over the last couple of years to harp on the positives and not dwell. I won't say the negatives, but just really, if anything, dwell on the memories, on the positive memories, just memories in general. I'm really going to try to keep it as short as that. He left a legacy upon himself. Well, he left a legacy to us with his children, three of my grandchildren, 2 grandsons, 1 granddaughter, who I love dearly. They are not watching, but hi Mimir, hi Big Head Zaire, hi Kaya, Pop loves you. And just being able to spend time with them and knowing that they can learn and know about him through me and my wife, through their Pop and their Gigi, brings some type of solace to the loss that we feel every day. So that's my statement on that. I don't want to kind of go into a plug, but I did this weekend on my podcast, The Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, have a segment dedicated to my son, in which I relayed a couple stories from when he was growing up that got me through that episode and just gets me through the day of just remembering my son. So yeah, that's what I had to say.
Celebrate the life, brother.
Yeah. So it's ironic that our finale of Hidden Gems football always falls on this week. I'm not sure. I'll say this, and probably I'm probably speaking more than I'm supposed to, but please press the notification button, subscribe if you haven't, because we might have a bonus episode coming out next week. We might not. We haven't decided yet, but the only way you will find out is if you subscribe to the 19 Media Group channel on YouTube and you subscribe to whatever feed that you choose to listen to us on all streaming platforms, wherever podcasts are available. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making Hidden Gems Football the one y'all choose to view and the one y'all choose to listen to for all throughout the NFL, regular and postseason. It's been a pleasure once again. We're wrapping up season 2, and hopefully y'all enjoy as much as me and Mo enjoy giving it to y'all. So with all that being said and done, until later on, Hidden Gems Football has been a part of the 19 Media Group. Goodbye.
Go Swifties.
This is a 19 Media Group presentation.
I'm letting you know right now. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm letting you know right now. I'm going to get us more heat with GI at the very beginning of the show. So just be prepared. Is it over now? The Kansas City Chiefs to lead by 14 points at any point in the game, plus 250. 2 is better than 1. 2 successful 2-point conversions. Doesn't specify which team, plus 1,200. Friendship bracelets. Travis Kelce, or the fullback whose name I cannot pronounce for the 49ers, score the first touchdown of the game, plus 600. Shake it off. The San Francisco 49ers to score first, but the Kansas City Chiefs to win, plus 350. I knew you were trouble. Christian McCaffrey for 150 yards total rushing and receiving, plus 160. I think that's possible. That's possible. The last great American dynasty. I'm so not up on her catalog, and I'm like, the last great American dynasty. That sounds like a theme for January 6th. Kansas City Chiefs to win by 22 or more points, plus 1,200. Gold Rush. The San Francisco 49ers to win. Well, the San Francisco 49ers to score 40 or more points, plus 750. And this is getting a little long-winded, but I'm going to continue. You can cut out whatever you need.
Oh, trust me, some of it's Nikai.
Yes, I know. Travis Kelce for 5 rushing yards, plus 1,000. How you get the girl? Travis Kelce to score a touchdown in either half. And for some reason, I cut off the odds. So that's definitely getting cut. Wildest Dreams. How many do I got? Oh, sure, I got 2 more. Wildest Dreams. Travis Kelce. This is probably going to be the hidden gem segment. Travis Kelce to score the first and the last touchdown, plus 2,500. Mine. Travis Kelce for 87 yards total. Well, 87 yards receiving yards. Plus 190. Anti-hero. Now, this is a possibility. That's probably why the low odds are what they are. Brock Purdy to throw for 200 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. That's possible. Plus 200. Red. Now, they're getting real generic with these darn things. Kansas City Chiefs to score 22 points in the first half. That's a possibility. You belong with Rashid. You belong with Rashid? Is this turned into Mariah Carey? You belong with Rashid. Travis Kelce.
Just to make this clear, Taylor Swift does not have a song called You Belong with Rashid, does she?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because I was like, maybe I just completely missed her demographic.
Listen, you saw how which guy Travis kind of shaped up like, you know what? No urban for me. I'm strictly cowboy now.
But if she had a song, about Rashid, then maybe he did find another hip hop video vixen.
She does write songs about her breakups. So maybe she's sliding in Rashid DMs. But
She's been hanging with Ice Spice, so makes sense.
Listen, I'm not going down that road. I'm not going down that road. You know what? Matter of fact, forget the Rashid. Blank space. And this is something I need to ask you about. Blank space. Travis Kelce to score an octopus. What the hell is an octopus?
Bruh, I was hoping you knew.
Is it what? Yeah, I don't get it. What is it? Is it all scoring at all different types, like a touchdown, extra 2-point conversion? I don't understand what an octopus is. But regardless,
it must be scoring 8 touchdowns in a game. Clearly,
okay, possibly. That's plus 3,000.
That have to be plus 3 million.
15. Patrick Mahomes, 15 rushing yards and 215 passing yards. That's minus 140. So yeah, those are all the prop bets Taylor Swift related. I know probably about 3 of them. I made my partner's editing job that much harder because he's gonna have to sift through which ones actually deserve some light on this finale edition of Hidden Gem Football, and which ones are probably just gonna be in the back at the end with just me just rattling off and like him just looking like, darn, is he continuing? Like I think I went about 5 straight minutes with prop bets Taylor Swift related. I get tired of even talking about them. Huh?
Go Swifties. I think DraftKings is trying to make us hate Taylor again.
Yeah, I think so. We're going to be on Colin Coward's hit list. Calling this misogynistic.
Okay, an octopus.
Okay.
You scored a touchdown, and then you scored a 2-point conversion right after it.
Oh.
So you score 8 points.
Ah. Yes.
You all right, brother?
Yeah, this is just me giving the fans this one last view of me on the 19 Media Group YouTube channel until probably like July, August. So I just wanted to let y'all know that the Simply Dashing the dashing one loves y'all. I love you. I love you. I love you. And you know who especially I love? I love me. And none of this is going to be in the editing. So, yeah, but it might. Knowing him, shoot, with these hidden gems, that's going to be a hidden gem.
With the first pick in the 2016 BGR NBA Draft, the Nets select Nikai Lewis.
BGR Sports. I'm here with Nikai Lewis, player of the game. He scores 31 points in the victory against Wichita State. Tell us about your performance tonight.
I mean, like, my team was shooting me the ball. I felt hot, but at the beginning of the game, I was trying to get the ball up, moving around, my team into the game. Then late in the game, I seen an opening, so I just took charge.
All right, your team is now 2-0. Talk about your team's performance in the first two games.
I mean, the first two games, I told my teammates, let's just push it. Every chance we get at fast break, make every layup, don't cause a lot of turnovers, and just took over.
All right, this summer you won a championship. Now you're in the NCAA 2-0. What else is planned for you in this future? What are your goals?
Well, my goals in the future right now is to get ready for this UPS job and to be able to be a father, good father at that. So we'll take it one day at a time.
All right, congratulations. I'm here with Nikai Lewis, player of the game, 31 points against Wichita State. Congratulations and thank you.